I'm going to talk about something that affects a lot of people today. 100 years ago, it wasn't that big of an issue. And I did a lot of research and I've had a lot of hands on experience with this. And actually, my wife, you know, went through it and she passed away a few years ago. And it wasn't as much the tumor that took her, it was more so what she was eating. And obviously, emotions are a big thing, stress is a big thing, sugar is a big thing, unhealthy foods. You want to eat clean. Juicing is huge. Juicing Bible, I highly recommend getting one of those. Um, Chris Wark, look him up. Smart dude. The Gerson therapy, Mrs. Gerson, I forget her first name, but I have a lot of her videos on my channel. She's a really smart lady. I don't know if I think she passed, I don't think she's still alive, but I highly recommend watching some of her videos. They're long, hour or something, but she's really interesting to listen to, and she's a very smart lady. And basically, 2014, beginning of 2014, my wife was diagnosed with a brain tumor. And I didn't know anything at all about cancer. All I knew is that they're still looking for a cure, and they get, $1 billion a year, and they're researching it, and as far as I knew, it was uncurable. It's terminal. You get that, you got maybe 5 years, depending on what kind of cancer, or if they can get the whole tumor out. But from what I've learned about tumors and cancer is basically the tumor is just your body protecting you. It puts all this bad stuff in your blood in a sack. And basically when it's cut open, radiation, chemotherapy, all that stuff, it lets it all back into the body, and it's really bad. That's, from the research I've done. There was a 3-month period where after two surgeries, two brain surgeries, chemo or radiation, and then chemo. They couldn't do chemo because her white blood count was too low. So they took a few months off, 3 months. And in that 3-month time period, I had her eating bitter almonds, and I was juicing a recipe that Chris Wark used, because I didn't know any other ones. We picked up a cheap $30+ Black & Decker juicer at Walmart. And I mean, they have some as expensive as like several $1,000s, but I figured a juicer's a juicer, and I was right. But I did 2 carrots, 2 pieces of celery, a quarter of a beet, and a piece of ginger, like half the size of your thumb, twice a day for probably like, a month and a half, 2 months. And then it was like, once a day for a month. It wasn't even it wasn't twice a day. And they did an MRI in the first month, and then the third month or 3 months down the road, they did another MRI, and she hadn't been doing any chemo, radiation, none of that stuff, just juicing and bitter almonds, and her tumor shrunk an inch. So that right there showed me that, I could, you know, it's pretty easy to make it go away. Obviously, stress, well, not obviously, people don't know this, but from what I've learned, stress and sugar are 1 and 2, or sugar and stress, they're 1 and 2, they feed cancer. So if you have cancer, cut out stress, cut out sugar, Jesus definitely helps. Or they say meditation or whatever, but, I don't really believe in that stuff, but you do what you want to do. Um, we, we, Another excellent video is World Without Cancer. It was a book made into a video. You look for it online. I don't know if you'll be able to find it. Also, try to get organic, and because if you get regular like carrots, say, they actually grow regular carrots in the ground to get the pesticides out. But I was using regular carrots. I didn't know about organic or non-organic, and it still shrunk it. So, but organic will obviously speed up the process. Anything else I could think of? Actually, yeah, she was having these things called auras. They were small seizures before this. She was having, half a dozen to a dozen a day, a few grand mal seizures every week. Initially I went to the GNC and bought all these vitamins and was having her taking all this stuff and nothing was helping. And, I was pretty much just having her take stuff, and because I wanted her to get better, she was my wife. I'm like, I'm not gonna, because every time she went and got, you know, radiation or chemotherapy, even after a surgery, she still wasn't good. She still was having seizures. They took her license away. She couldn't drive. I was taking care of her. So, but yeah, that's basically it. You know, I'd highly recommend. I mean, obviously, this isn't medical advice. Do your own research. I'm not gonna say do this and don't do that. I don't want to be liable for anything, but if someone's life was placed in my hands and they listened to everything I said and changed their diet and, cut out stress and sugar and all this processed foods and all these poison chemicals they put in it, they would have a definitely fighting chance. And there's another place called Oasis of Hope Hospitals. They focus around high levels of vitamin C, intravenous, and juicing. And I think they're located in Mexico. I would definitely check them out. Excuse me. But, I mean, you could do it yourself. It's fairly easy. Like in the Bible, it says, seek and you shall find. I think it's Matthew 7:7. That's what I did. I just kept looking and looking and looking. My mom gave me a book one time about people, Hunza Valley in Pakistan, and they determine like who's the richest in that land by how many apricot trees they have, because they eat the apricots or the seeds and the almonds in the apricots, and they have the highest amount of vitamin B17, which has laetrile and amygdalin in them, and that's what goes after the cancer and attacks the cancer cells. But if you're taking those, you got to take 20 to 40 a day if you have cancer. It's hard to find the concentrated kinds. I think the guy that was selling those got locked up because I forget his name. He was an arm wrestling champion, but he was reversing a lot of people, and some people didn't like that. It was hurting the bigger guys at business and big farmers and stuff. But yeah, so any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll answer them. I'll send you some videos. I have tons of playlists with excellent information about cancer and healing it. And yeah, so I don't want to make this video any longer than I have to. That's basically what I want to say. There's definitely hope, and any kind of disease out there is basically man-made, and it can be reversed through nutrition. I actually picked up a book on Amazon called Free Food and Medicine Worldwide Edible Plant Guide by Marcus Rothkranz, Rothkranz. And I'm learning a lot of stuff in there about different plants and weeds that they don't tell you about, that are good for every sort of thing, and they have tons of vitamins. And I was actually walking in the store the other day, and I seen this weed, and I noticed it from the book, and I grabbed a piece of it and started eating it, and just like it said, it tasted like spinach. It's better than spinach. There's so much stuff in that book that you could just eat stuff and go out in the wild, or it tells you what to eat, what not to eat. It's phenomenal. But in my opinion, like natural ways, natural, holistic methods are a million times better than any hospital or doctor pill they're going to give you. I know that they only treat the symptoms. They don't address the root of the cause. That's the real problem. That's why, that's why they haven't found a cure. That's why no one's getting better. That's why people get sick. They want you for life. They want you to be a customer for life. They want to make as much money off you as possible. And then when you pass, the government collects a nice little ching every time someone passes, unless you go into the ways to privatize your name. But that's another video. I have videos on that, links on that. So many ways to free yourself. Like, obviously Jesus is the number one way to free yourself, but I prayed to God for wisdom like Solomon many years ago, and he showed me so much stuff, from obviously ways to reverse cancer, and even natural things that come from like China, Japan, remedies, and other things that come from trees that most people I've talked to, nurses and doctors, never heard of. Some have, but different things that are like you could put on like your teeth or your bones or anything, and you can mix them with other things, and it goes in and it fixes problems. Like, there's so much stuff out there. Don't let anyone tell you that, like, you're terminal. I know we're all terminal. We're all going to die. It's obviously smart to get Jesus. I'm never going to stop talking about that, because I know, like, that he's the answer, And plus, how would I know all this stuff? How would I know? Like, I learned where gold really is, like, what rocks really are, what sand and dirt really is, like, all this stuff they tell you about, like, geology and biology and stuff, or stuff in the earth. It's totally whacked. It's totally wrong. Like, I have links to everything. Even if my channel gets shut down or gets censored or whatever, like, just leave comments and I'll direct you to wherever. I have tons of links saved in my phone, and I was gonna put my Yahoo up, but I figured a lot would go into spam, and I don't get notifications for certain things. You could probably hit me up on Instagram if you want. It's I'll leave it on my bio. I think it might be on there, but I'll put it on there so you can go on there and send me a message, or follow me if you want to, or whatever. But I have a few thousand posts on there. I don't know if Instagram shows it all. I think I'm not able to be found. I think I'm blacklisted or whatever, because I share too much stuff, and I'm constantly getting banned for days from posting on Facebook, because I post so much truth, and they don't like that. They like to censor stuff. I wish they had a site where nothing was censored, but then everyone would wake up and they'd be like, "What? My house is paid for when I signed for it. The bank's collecting double plus interest." Like, I have links to that. I have links to videos and websites that show you, like, how to discharge all your debt. Um, Different forms you can get from the IRS, like different videos that show that, different people. I mean, obviously you gotta pay a little bit to get the information, but some videos you can listen to, and it shows you everything. And I have posted a few videos of like big heads and stuff and rocks, and people are like, they're just rocks, and that's what I thought too. I'm like, oh, cool, it's a rock, it's a head, that's cool. Someone must have sculpted this, and then jump on over to Mud Fossil University on YouTube and watch a few of his videos, and it's just when you basically start to learn one thing, and then you learn another thing, then you're like open to everything. Like, don't be closed. Don't listen. Don't turn off your TV. Jump on YouTube and start researching things. I got rid of my TV a few years ago, and a few years before that, I didn't even watch TV. I just went on YouTube and researched things. because I had a lot of time when my wife got sick. I had to basically stop working and stay home all the time. But like I said, this video is definitely too long now. But yeah, like I said, leave something in the comments. My Instagram, just in case I forget to post it, because I'm really ADHD, is wisdom underscore like underscore Solomon on Instagram. And like I said, I'll post that. And if you can't get a hold of me on YouTube or with a comment and I don't get back to you because I have a busy life, but I will try to get back to you and respond to any questions you have. And like I said, I don't have a lot of subscribers now, so it's not really an issue. I should be able to get back to you. I turned all my notifications on because I don't know. But yeah, that's it. So have a good day. God bless. And, keep your head up, because there's things out there that will free you from everything. And God can free you from everything else. Jesus. God bless. Peace.